Good morning, everybody. We are here at the straight road. I apologize for the crunchy crunch. I am in snowshoes. No pulling. Sorry, that wasn't for you guys. It's beautiful outside. It's above freezing, so everything is slowly starting to melt. I'm in rain boots and snowshoes. Not so much like on the path is fine, but as soon as you step off the path, as you can see by these lovely deep footprints, you go right through. So to preserve me, I have snowshoes for when I have to step off the path to pick up poop. For those who like a head count, we have 13 today. I have to remember to... Is it right? Please hold while I fix something. There we go. Okay. And drop in here. So I can pick that up on my way back. Okay. No. Rude. Okay. What did I say? Head count 13. We've got Maggie up in the front there. Archie and Stella. Newton, May, Kronk, Rowan, Bailey, Rory, Hamish, Nova, Casper, and Willow, who is attached to me for the time being. So, what we're working on this week, of course, Casper, because he's a puppy. So he is still on a long line attached to me. His recall is honestly fine. What we're mostly focusing on is dog manners. Because again, he's a puppy, but he's starting to hit the age where the dogs don't really consider him a puppy anymore. And they think he's kind of a tiny jerk, which is fair. Puppies are annoying. It's the way of the world. So that's why he has the line on him. So I can give him a little reminder that, like, okay, this is too much or anything like that. And he's doing good. He's a lot better. Like he was for a while, walking with his face right up other people's butts. For extended periods, which is not ideal. And now he's being a lot more respectful. Oh, don't tackle. No pulling. And as for Miss Willow, we had 0 recall. Of course, I'm going to work on after I'm done with the video. But since we had 0 recall, that means I don't have a lot of trust. And that means we get tethered to me on a short line. So for those of you, Nova, let's go. For those of you who haven't seen that process before, if ever any of the dogs are struggling with any of the rules on Pack Walk, and it doesn't really matter what those rules are that they're struggling with. So a simple, Hamish, really? Oh, terriers. Like it could be we're struggling with outs, or we're struggling with how to be so, or we're a puppy, or oh my god, we're a puppy weed. Hold on. We have to rescue you from your weed here. Oh, there's another one. Okay, carry on, go. Oh my goodness. Faye, go. Thank you. Do it off the path, my love. Kronk out. Thank you. Yeah, so for those of you unfamiliar with the process, or have never done it with your own dog, Kronk, what did I just say? Thank you. Generally speaking, trancing in a shrub. And we're clear. All right. And it can be, like I said, any command. In this case, it's Pack Walk stuff. But it could be leash walking, it could be whatever. It could be sit, who knows? So whenever there's a struggle with any of that, Rory, that's a no from me. Thank you. Good Lord. Then what I do is I bring it back to basics. So exactly where we started. No. Good. So that was a smelling is fine. Licking is not appropriate. Yeah, I know. You're a rotten child. Hi, hi. Go, go. Get out of here. Good. So, and whatever those basics are going to vary depending on what the behavior is you're working on. So in our case, like you saw with Casper, that was actually a really good example of puppy manners. And see there, he went for a sniff and then didn't push it. Now, it's completely natural for him to push it. He's a young, unneutered male, reaching sort of teenager, like he's hitting that spot. Much better. And it's natural, but the thing is it's up to me to tell him no, because the thing about all the pack dogs is, generally speaking, they will wait for me to take care of it, which is what I want in a pack dog, right? Like, I don't mind a growl or a snap to say no, because that's, again, completely natural when it comes to dogs. But if I can get to it before they need to do that, then that means I'm doing my job correctly, right? Because I'm, in theory, the one in charge of all these guys, which is how I can walk them all nicely together, is they adhere to a strict set of rules. Everybody gets the same rules. Everybody's on a level playing field. Newton today. Yeah, I see the coyote path there. Yeah, so in the case of puppy manners, it's just, I always have something to be able to say no, right? Because if he was off leash, there's nothing I could do. I could yell, I could scream, I could do whatever. But if he knows he's out of my, no pulling, good boy. If he knows he's out of my reach, he's going to do it anyway. And then he's just going to take off and get away from me, because who would want to get close to something like that? But since I've got the line on him, it still gives him his freedom. He can still run around and check things out. But I always have an available correction to me. Hey, Nova in front. Hamish today. Also in front. Thank you. You quit pulling. Thank you. Now, as far as not listening to recall, or even going so far as to doing the opposite of what I'm asking, which is what we're dealing with Willow, it means we do recall drills on a long line. And I can show you what that looks like in a minute or two. Thing is, like, I need all of my hands. Good boy, Casper. That was much better. I don't know if you guys saw it. I legitimately don't know where I was pointing my camera. Kronk out. Go. It's gross. Nova in front. Thank you. I don't know if we have time. No, I'm going to time out before we have chance. So maybe next week I will show you guys what I'm talking about. And go from there. And I basically just keep doing recall drills until she's doing them successfully on her own. Then I drop the line so she drags it, and then I do spontaneous recalls. So if you guys haven't seen that, I did a video I don't know, in the fall, I think, where I had just Roan and Kronk. It's what I do when I'm out on walk, and one of the things I do pretty regularly is spontaneous recalls. And these are just recalls for literally no reason other than for them to get paid. No pulling. So recall treat, recall fuss, doesn't really matter. But when people ask me like why my recall is so good with them, that's why. Like, they've done thousands, tens of thousands of just recalls. So when there's something they actually need to recall for, like if there's a deer or something, I don't want them chasing something. If we're about to cross a road and I need them close to me. If there's an oncoming coyote. Like, all of these things are reasons I would need them to recall. Because we've practiced so much with spontaneous recall, whatever has somewhat caught their interest, or if I'm doing my job correctly, hasn't caught their interest yet, then, see all these divots? This is where I would break my ankle. Then, because we've had all those spontaneous recalls, because they've all been successful, they've gotten paid, it's a happy, fun thing, they will just recall, right? And specifically, much better, Casper. I also try to recall them in tons of different tones of voice, because you can't always control, especially if it's a emergency situation, you're not going to be able to control what you sound like, or at least not everyone can do that. So having them recall if I sound angry or I sound annoyed or whatever, then they just do it. And it's also something I practice. No! It's also something I practice with the pack, right? So when I'm not talking to you guys, we do spontaneous recalls a couple times during walk, always. And they always get paid for them. And that's why their recall for me on walk is good. But something you also have to keep in mind is just because it's good for me on walk doesn't necessarily mean it's good not at the straight road even. Like, if I take them to a different place, we do way more than just a couple recalls. We do several during that walk, because that's an opportunity to proof training. That means that you take your training that ideally you've started like in your living room, and you take it to, oh my God, the little paw prints, sorry. And you take it to a bunch of different places. Good girl, May. To teach them that those rules apply no matter where we are. Because, like, dogs are fairly intelligent. And to them, as soon as you're in a different environment, it's like, it's a whole new ball game. It's like, oh, do I still have to listen to you here? It's one of the reasons that leashes are so convenient, right? Is because when they're on a leash and they know what their manners should be on a leash, you proof that in a bunch of different places. It starts to become, okay, well, I'm on a leash, I have to follow these rules, right? So having them behave well on a leash, good boy, Casper, good job, is pretty important. And then you can segue from the leash to being, oh God, off the leash with the same commands, right? But even off leash, you do a slightly longer leash, because they learn the length of a leash, right? So they're like, oh, if I'm within 6 feet, I have to listen. But once I'm not, you know what I mean? So that's when you segue to either a long line or an e-collar, like whatever works best for you. And go from there. Anyhow, okay, we are way over. Sorry about that. Kronk, not your play. Good boy. Oh, yeah, that's your play, technically. Oh, God. Oh, God. May, not your play. Yeah, you guys are getting rowdy. Let's keep going. Okay, no. Row in, stop. Thank you. Okay, go. Well, that there was a good example. So he knows when I say stop, he just means stop moving. Usually because I need to untangle him from something. In that case was Casper. Kronk, you can dial it back a bit. Thank you. That's a good idea. Yeah. These two go. Oh God, long stick problems. Okay, I'm gonna sign off. As always, if you have any questions about this or any other video, you know what to do. Otherwise, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. If you have a second to like, comment, and or subscribe, it is so appreciated. And we'll talk to you soon. Cheers.